as I work in a procurement department at a company, and I would like to talk to a person who is talkative because I'm a little shy.
Okay, so you want to have a person who can talk and talk and talk and do all the talking for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. How about Irene? And the next will be Rika. Hi, Irene. Can you speak?
Who is Irene?
我是
Irene.
Yes.
I am Kelly 耶。我不知道你看你
but it seems on your screen it says that you're Irene. There's an I over there. Do you have other names? Or are you using other people's accounts?
我等你的。没有，我用你的电脑会吗？
Oh, it's okay. You're sharing a computer with
为什么我是
attendee,
Irene 啊？
right?
因为我记得我是用。
It's okay. Just tell us your name, your actual name. All right, so let's figure out that out later. What about the next one will be Ruby, followed by Tanya.
Okay, this is Ruby, and I'm an intern working in the future company. And in networking events, I like to talk to people who are outgoing and knowledgeable.
Logical?
Not knowledgeable. Knows a lot.
Knowledgeable. Okay.
Yeah.
So also you want to talk to someone who can really talk. Like
Yeah.
on and on. All right. That sounds like a good idea. What about Tanya, followed by Yu?
Okay. I'm Tanya, and actually I am in between job now, and I worked at bank and in the operation and technology department. Yes, and I like to talk to people who are really curious about them.
You're curious about. Okay.
So I might ask them some questions.
Excellent. So then we want to hear Yu's opinion right now, followed by Jiating.
Hello everyone, my name is Yu, and I'm now working in the investment banking division. I would like to, in networking events, I would like to talk to people who are talkative and friendly, because normally I don't really know how to start a conversation.
Okay. All right. You already did a good job starting these particular 3 sentences. Okay. So Jiating, now it's your turn, and followed by Farrell.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Liga, and I'm a social worker. I service homeless people. And I want to join this next workshop because I want to have more conversation with different countries' social worker. Yesterday, I come from French. I have a lot of chance to French social worker to talk.
Wow.
And
in Paris?
a lot of social worker English very bad. So my English also bad. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, so but when you're in networking events, who do you want to talk to? What kind of people do you want to talk to?
Everyone, maybe social worker.
Everyone, because you can talk. I know you can talk. She's my friend. I know she can talk, so she doesn't have to look for someone who can talk.
Homeless
she
people,
can always talk.
They are yes.
All right, so see, sometimes to talk, you don't necessarily need to know like 100% about the language. All you have to do is to have a good heart. All right, Farrell, my old junior high school friend, how are you? Can you share a little bit about these particular 3 sentences? And then the next one would be Mona.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Farrell. I'm a finance consultant and also a salesman. In network event, I like to talk to people who are positive and friendly.
Okay, excellent. What about Mona? And follow.
Hello everyone.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. So can you guys hear my voice?
Yes, very clearly.
All right. Yeah, thank you, because this is the first time I use the Zoom, so
Zoom,
I'm not
okay.
sure I'm
it's
not
good
sure
enough.
it's okay.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Mona. Yeah, I work in banking.
But
I work
everybody's
in
in
banking.
banking. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, what a coincidence. All right.
Yeah,
So
and
what kind of people do you want to talk to?
Yeah, actually, I work in. I'm a legal compliance for overseas branch management, and I have to. My coworkers, their English are very good and they speak very well, and I don't have so many confidence to for my speaking, so that's why I want to keep myself to be a great
Sure. But in these kind of situations, which kind of people do you like to talk to? Can you use some adjectives to describe them?
My coworkers, my coworkers who stay in overseas branch, maybe the native speakers,
Okay.
some of them are
But what are the
native
qualities?
speakers.
What are the personal traits? Are they? Do you particularly like to talk to those who are friendly or relaxed? Who do you?
I think the relaxed and friendly, yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
excellent.
Yeah.
So who else haven't? Okay, Angie, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. I can hear you.
Can you share a little bit using the 3 sentences on the screen?
I work in a non-profit organization which focus on Southeastern policy. So basically, I'm doing some international affair, like a diplomacy, cultural diplomacy. So I really need to practice my English because I need to have like an international meeting or conference, and I need to explain our policy very clearly. So yeah, but
Excellent.
it's been 10 years. I didn't live or work in the English environment. So I think I need to improve it more.
So for question number 3, what kind of people do you want to talk to in networking events? Provide a few adjectives to describe them.
Mostly is like a diplomacy or ambassador or like international.
But would you want to talk to people who have a certain personality traits, like someone who's outgoing or someone who's very talkative? What kind of people do you want to talk to? Or you don't really have a preference? Because you can talk too. Angie's my previous my colleague in my first company, actually.
Yeah, our first company.
Yeah, our first company.
So my colleague can have like they can do the presentation to introduce our foundation or like the cultural or Taiwan's diplomacy policy, but I can't really explain that, so many professional words. Like if
Okay,
in the
so it's
live
you're
conversation,
talking
it'll be
about
okay.
language issue of your own.
Yeah,
Like
it's
how to pick the
language
right words
issue.
to
Yeah,
describe
that's
how you
like
want to feel.
Sorry.
I see. Okay. Thank you all for sharing. Is there anybody who hasn't shared? Okay. Oh, Hank is coming. And Juno, that's also my friend. So let's spend this one last minute to do this warm-up exercise. Hey guys, hey Juno. We are sort of doing a semi-introduction of ourselves, and we're also describing what kind of people we want to talk to using the information on the screen. Can you share a little bit? Juno, are you there? Juno?
Hi. Hi, this is Juno.
Yes.
Excuse me for
Do you
being
see the
late.
questions on the screen?
Yeah. This is Juno, and I'm working in a fast food industry. Yeah. Actually, I'm working in Taiwan McDonald's. Usually, I just talk to people in other countries, McDonald's or my supplier, food supplier. So they are usually we talk about work.
Yeah. Oh, they talk about work, and they are probably very knowledgeable in their industries as well, because your company is super big, and they probably are very big as well in their industry, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So last person, Hank and Tiffany, can you like spend
Hi.
the shortest amount of time possible to let us know your opinion on these three questions?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I'm Hank, and I'm working as one branding for marketing for CRM scheduling. And I usually like to talk about traveling or life experience to sharing a lot part of important life, and the other side is important to me or to the other. So I want to share about a lot of traveling and life experience.
Excellent, thank you. So Tiffany, you're the last one.
Okay, I'm trying to keep it short. Hello, everyone. I'm Tiffany. I'm sorry for being late because I was cooking right now, and until my husband told me, did you have some lessons you have to attend? I was like, okay. So yeah, sorry for being late.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, and basically I'm a marketer as well, and I'm working the technical 科技业 in industry.
And
tech
industry, yes.
Yeah, so I'm in charge of global marketing. So normally I will talk with the people in other countries in our brand. So yeah, basically they are marketers or they are salespeople. So yeah, nice to meet you, everyone.
Excellent. So it's good to know that everybody has very extensive backgrounds in various different industries. And it seems like we have a sort of a conclusion here. Everybody wants to talk to people who are outgoing, who are really knowledgeable, not just in terms of their business knowledge, but probably a little bit about things like traveling, stuff like that. So how do you come up with all these information to talk about with other people, and furthermore establish trust, and even furthermore close some deals in the end? That will be something that everybody, including me, is very interested in. So let's just go ahead and start our very first section. We're going to talk about the nonverbal communication part of our business scenarios. So as you can see on this particular slide, it shows you what happens when verbal and nonverbal communication does not match. I don't know how often you see this, but oftentimes there will be someone who says, "Oh, I'm welcome to our company, welcome to our office," but their facial expression doesn't really match. So it creates a kind of discrepancy. And various studies also show that nonverbal communication can be more important sometimes than verbal communication. So that being said, are we skipping some of the important nonverbal communication cues when we're expressing ourselves? We have a list to go through right now, so let's all find out. I would ask you to use your chat box to enter some numbers to answer the first few questions. So number one, we're talking about open and close body language. Okay, question number one. You see three groups of people on the
Your
screen.
microphone. I can't really hear you.
Hi, Lee, your
We're seeing
microphone.
Yes. Sorry about that. As there's something wrong with my mic rack, so I had to hold it like this. Which person or group of people would you want to talk to in business network events? That's question A. And question B, you can all check the chat box. Question B is, which group's body language resembles yours the most? 跟你自己的最像哦。Can you answer in the chat box? Once again, sorry. The format is kind of like this. Can you see in the chat box?
Yes, I can see it from the chat box.
You have to type some numbers there. Number 1 is a sort of defensive standing position. There's, well, you can type 4 if your option is like none of the above. 4. Okay. All right. It seems like we all agree that having the position that is closer to number 3 is a little bit more welcoming, not just for the people who want to jump into the conversation, but also for the people who are engaging in that conversation. Well, you have the different, Angie has a different opinion. Can you share a little bit about why you type 1 over there?
But it's depend on what kind of situation.
Oh.
But I think in the beginning,
but
maybe
in business networking
oh yeah,
events.
business. Okay. So it will be open attitude. So it will be 3. Sorry.
Okay. So under what condition would you use 1?
When you meet a stranger, then maybe you
but-
will start from the defensive standing position then.
Okay. But so you would prefer to have a something like position number 1 when you're meeting a complete stranger. Is that so?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
yeah.
So that's actually very common. That's a very common. Having that body position doesn't necessarily mean that you want to attack people or really want to defend yourself. Sometimes it's what psychology called a soothing behavior. You're trying to calm yourself down too. Later on, we will save a period of time for you to discuss using the sentence patterns on the screen to the left. So we will group everybody into groups of 2 or 3 people, and you can all use that sentence patterns to discuss further. Okay. The second part of nonverbal communication is distance. There's also another question that I want to ask you about. Which woman in the picture to the left needs more space? Woman number 1 or 2? Also type in the chat box. And the question number 2 is, when you're talking to total strangers, what is your most preferred distance? A, B, or C? So everybody's can you for example share your opinion about why you choose woman number 1 as the one who needs more space?
Because I think she is kind of stepping back instead of woman number 2 is going forward. So I think maybe number 1 needs more distance to talk to people.
For in your own experience, do you find yourself in a position of woman number 1 or 2?
Depends on the situation.
Depends.
Like depends. Like if we are discussing about the working stuff, then I think I won't be both of them, because normally we are just discussing in a really reasonable way. But like if we are arguing with people, maybe more posture like number 2.
Okay, I see. All right. And it seems like everybody prefers the distance between 1.2 meter to 3.6 meter as your social distance for when you meet strangers. Let me see if there's anybody who has a different answer. Everybody's the same. How come? What about Juno? You write C somewhere. Can you explain it a little bit?
Yeah, because in a meeting room is quite big. So usually people sit just not next to me, so the usual distance will be C.
Okay, the usual distance will be C because of the seating arrangement in the
Yeah,
office.
yeah.
Okay, I see. Personally, actually, I'm okay with A for some reason. If people stand really far, I respect that. But if they're standing in the A zone, I'm okay too. Okay, and then the next part, we want to examine eye contact. So again, a little poll. What do you think is the optimal duration for people to have when they make eye contact to other people? How many seconds do you think you should use your eye contact with people when you are talking? Can you type the seconds? How many seconds? 觉得你在讲话的时候应该要看别人看几秒。Any ideas? How many seconds? Depends on how many people. 虽然你觉得是3 okay? You think it's about 3? 15 seconds. See, it varies a lot. Also, it's actually, this number is highly subjective to cultural difference and personal difference as well. The the UK average is actually 3.3 seconds, whereas the US average is about 5 to 10 seconds. That's why a lot of people in the UK would say people from America are just too friendly. But generally speaking, in the West, people expect to have to have more eye contact from their listeners. So it's important to really observe how people react to the duration of your eye contact. Let's see who has the who thinks that the eye contact should be very, very long. Let's see who has the longest. Ruby, it seems like you prefer a very long duration. Can you explain on that?
Because I want to show them that I'm listening to them. So I will look at others for a longer time. But sometimes I'm really afraid to have eye contact with people.
No, I see. So in this case, do you try to look at other parts of their face?
Maybe I will look at the top of the nose instead of the eyes.
Top of the nose. What do you mean at top of the nose? The tip of the nose?
Almost this place in order to like avoid real eye contact.
Ah, I see. Okay, cool. All right. So the next thing about eye contact, a quick question. Have you paid attention to how your eye contact look in web meetings? Is it more like 1 or is it more like 2? Can you type in the chat box? More like 2? More like 1? So it's half and half. Usually you don't turn on the camera. Okay, that is also quite common. So Tiffany, since you have a lot of experiences working with other clients internationally, I assume, has it become an etiquette to have eye contact in Zoom meetings, or is it just your own preference? Tiffany, you there?
Sorry, I'm on mute. I think based on my experience, normally people are no eye contact. Is it because maybe online meeting that people sometimes are also busy on other stuffs, or
Okay,
maybe
so they're not concentrated.
Yeah, or maybe I think we're just not get used to, look at the camera and talk to the camera, because we are normally to talk with the person in the camera. So that's why it's not really not a high chances with the eye contact, the number 2. So
I see.
That's my experience.
I see. You're correct, because most of the time people are distracted, and so if being distracted is the kind of the norm, then sometimes it's not that critical in some business situation. But right now we do see that there's a trend of more of caring more about how you look because of you know, the hybrid working situations right now. Okay, so now we're talking about smiles. On the left-hand side, this smile is called Pan American smile. This is actually named after the airline company, one airline company in the US, Fan Mei Hong Kong. So all the flight attendants are kind of like this. Okay, they if you see on the lower left side at the bottom, there's a particular group of muscles called orbicularis oculi. Orbicularis oculi. Can you repeat after me?
Orbicularis.
Ocular.
Orbicularis
Orbicularis.
Yes.
Orbicularis.
In the
Oculi.
right. So when it smiles, when this part of the muscle moves, then it gives people a different feel, which is the smile on the right hand side. It's called the Duchenne smile. Can you repeat after me? The Duchenne smile.
Duchenne smile.
Duchenne. Yes, it's a French word.
Duchenne smile.
Okay. So which smile do you prefer? One or two?
Two.
And somebody is talking about the filter that creates that automatic eye contact, and it is in Zoom. I think I'm actually using it right now. If you're noticing me looking at you right now, okay. Most people kind of prefer. Well, there are actually. What was the question? What was my question? My question was, which smile do you usually use? Is that my question? I kind of forgot about my question. So let me ask Rika.
Yes.
So do you prefer smile number 1 or 2?
I prefer smile 1
Smile number 1. Why is that?
because it looks more friendly.
It looks more friendly. 2. What does 2
Yeah.
look like to you?
Not so open-minded, maybe.
Not so open-minded. Okay, so there can be a cultural difference, but you see that there are more people that are voting for 1. So once again, I'm not saying that there's a universal rule regarding how a person should smile, but you do need to pay attention to the variations and the people's reaction. For example, if your listener is touching himself at the neck, holding himself like this, then it probably is a sign that he doesn't feel like you're opening up. So you can try a different smile in that case. All right. So also, it's not just the muscles that you use. It's not just the muscles that you use when you smile. It's also about the speed of smiling. In one of our reference book, 92 tricks to use in social situations, the author mentions that if you smile slowly as opposed to smiling quickly, people also feel differently. In theory, the slower smile makes you a little bit more sincere. I'll let you try that later on in the discussion time with one another. Okay, so let's have a group discussion right now. So I want you to take the handouts, the link that I sent you. Do you all have the link? Do you all have the link? Do you need me to share again? So if you can, later on when we put you in the groups, you should all look at the handout, and discuss each one using the sentence patterns that are in the handouts. Is that understandable? Are we clear? If so, please type 1. If not, please type 2 or just ask me the questions.
Sorry, would you mind to say it again?
It's in the chat box now. Do you see it?
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay, so let me put you in groups. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. Okay. Or just tell me. All right, here we go. Oops. 8. 3. 7. Let's go.
Clearly?
Yes. So we start from page 10.
Sure.
Okay. If I see people stand with number 2, but with close body language like number 2, picture number 2, I am less willing to talk to them because I feel they don't want to talk with me.
Excellent sentence.
And I usually maintain I usually try to maintain open body language like number 3. But sometimes sometimes I forgot it, and sometimes I might be number 1 like that. Because it makes people feel more comfortable, and it looks like I'm willing to sharing.
Okay, excellent. What about you, Yuting?
Oh, if I see people standing with number 3 body language, open body and open attitude body language like number 3, I am more willing to talk to them because I think they are more relaxed.
You're more relaxed.
Oh, relaxed. I usually maintain open body and open attitude body language like number 3 because it will make people feel well, I think.
Feel better, feel welcome. Okay, excellent.
Yes.
So you can move on to the next point. And I'll move on to the next chat room.
Others went. Why? I'm not pretty sure why the sentence didn't have any blank that I can talk. Why is that? I've never paid attention to my distance with others when talking.
Sometimes you just don't know. People don't realize how far they are when they talk to people. So it's just an option. You don't have to use everything.
Okay. And I usually maintain eye contact with the listener for about 15 seconds when I speak. I usually maintain eye contact with the listener for
So I usually maintain eye contact with the listener for about 3 to 5 seconds when I speak, because maybe there are a lot of them. I usually maintain eye contact with the listener for normally as long as I can, because I want them to feel that I'm listening to them. And if people look at me for more than 10 seconds when I listen, I will feel they're paying attention. To avoid nervousness when making eye contact, I look at people's hands or something instead.
Hands.
So
Look
would
at
you
their
like to
hands?
start for? Yeah, kind of, because normally when I speak to like having a presentation, people don't really know that what kind of part did I, looking at them.
That you're looking
So
at.
I will just slide it and yeah.
Okay.
So would you like to start with numbers, the part C? Okay.
I don't A. Are we going back?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
you still have
hi.
time.
Okay, hi.
Uh,
Okay, so
I'm just
when
listening.
meeting with stranger, my preferred distance is A. If it's shorter than that, I will feel more too intimacy.
Too intimate. You
Intimate. Yeah,
you're
intimate.
getting too intimate with this person.
Yeah, with this person. And if it's longer than that, I will feel too far to hear them.
Okay. So it's just a pure hearing issue.
Yeah, here or maybe I feel like I can't really connect with these people, person. Yeah.
Got it.
So should
So
we
go to
continue
next.
Rika.
to the next tab?
Yeah, I say my preferred distance is B. Yeah, because if it's shorter than that, then I will feel nervous, and if it's longer than that, I will feel I cannot hear what he said too. But I think if my preferred distance is B, is closer to A, but not to maybe 2 meters to 1.5 meters.
Okay. If the person looks good, I saw some discussion over there. If a person looks good, he can stand very, very close to you, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Makes sense.
Eyes contact with lesson for about second when I speak. What's this mean? I can
if you don't understand anything, just skip that. But basically, when well, actually, it's the same thing. With the speaker, actually, that was a typo over there. I usually maintain eye contact with the speaker for about X amount of time when I listen. That's a typo there.
Yeah, I usually maintain eye contact with the listener for about 5 seconds when I speak, but it depends on what kinds of situation when I speak. If I am a teacher to teach students, and maybe more seconds when I speak, because I need to concentrate to students and
concentrate on getting their feedback, so you need to look at them.
Yeah.
Longer. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Sure.
All right. Next.
My turn. If I talking with somebody, I usually maintain eyes connect with the listener about maybe 5 seconds when I speak. And very frequently.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
If people look at me for more,
then Duchenne smile because
Duchenne.
I think Duchenne smile needs more energy. If I see number one smile, Pan American smile, I will feel relaxed. I believe people with Duchenne smile is outgoing and enjoy to
Thirty seconds. I'm just coming here to remind you a little bit.
OK，哦，我们还有好多个诶。
We're not going to D.
Okay, so just pick. Maybe talk about the last one.
Okay, this is last one. Okay, in the like
slow, quick smile.
And usually I use like number one because number one is like this is my camera smiling. So if I have cameras, I will smile like one. So if like in real life, I think it's number two. But if I have a camera, behind the camera, it's number one.
Okay. Slowly getting everybody back. So who, a quick question before everybody comes back. Do you agree with this? We want to appear relaxed, but sometimes we are indeed not relaxed. Sometimes we are indeed very nervous. Do you agree that this sometimes happened to you? If so, please type 1. If not, please type 2. Do you agree that you want to appear relaxed, but sometimes you are indeed not relaxed? It's kind of hard to act. Okay. So what do we do in that case? Well, the book suggests that you can perhaps try one of these mindsets. Which do you think is more likely the suggestion given by the book? 1, look at these strangers. I don't know them. That's the number 1 mindset. The second one is, am I going to get what I want in this meeting mindset? Number 3 is, hello, old friend in the future. I'm going to be your best friend in the future. So I'm just going to talk to you and find out who are going to be those special ones. Which one do you think is the suggestion in the book? 1, look at the strangers. Look at these strangers. You're not going to meet them again, right? Why do you have to be afraid of them? That can be a possible solution. That can be a possible solution. Whatever makes you feel better, okay? Whatever makes you feel better. But the book was suggesting, imagine you're going to talk to old friends. Also, the book suggests that you can try changing your posture to change your mood. Can everybody try this with me? Imagine you're about to walk into a conference room and you're a little bit nervous. However, while you're entering the door, there's a bar high up, and then you're trying to bite that bar over there. You're trying to bite that bar. So that creates a posture that is very upright. Your head is high and then your back is straight. Can you try that for, say, 5 seconds? One, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. If you notice a change in mood, please type yes. If it do not notice anything, please type 2. A slight change. Okay, so it's a lot of 2s. 2. All right, so this posture doesn't work, obviously, but these, how about these? These are called, the top ones are called high power poses. The bottom ones are called low power poses. This is from a very famous research of Professor Amy Cuddy of Harvard University. According to her research, before entering a room, if you keep a high power pose, then in theory, that's going to change your mood. So let's all do a little experiment. Okay. Can we pick from 1, 2, 3, from one of the high power poses and do that for, say, 10 seconds. Okay, pick one pose. I'm going to go like this because of the way I stand. I'm going to go like this. Keep doing that for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's high power pose. And then let's try one of the poses from 4 to 6. Okay, 4 to 6. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you notice a difference? If you do notice a difference, please type yes. If you don't, please type no. I'm open to all the answers. You don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know either. That's why we were trying. If you notice a difference, please type yes. If you don't notice a difference, please type 2. I mean, type no. Okay, it really does change your mood. So I also would like to recommend a very famous podcast right now in the in pop psychology called the Andrew Huberman podcast. Andrew Huberman, that's the name. So in his podcast, he often invites different scientists to discuss about how to improve people's emotions and through not just changing your mindset, but to change things physically. So you don't have to feel better by controlling your mind, by telling yourself, oh, I need to feel better. You can just go ahead and do something physical activity, and it completely changes the way you feel. Okay, so that's our part about nonverbal communication. To successfully implement these in your daily life, you can do visualization. You can, before you walk into a room, before you start a day, you can visualize how you're going to practice some of the skills that we talked about today. And of course, repetition is also needed because a lot of times we know things in our conscious mind, but they're not in our muscle memory yet. So a lot of repetition is needed. Also, we need to adjust based on observation of our counterparts in the conversation. If they're showing signs of stress, definitely try another smile, try another posture, try another hand movement with him or her. Okay. And because of time limits, sorry about that, we're going to jump to part number 3. We will come back to part 2 in the next class. But today we want to start, just cut the part 2 for now and then go to the tonality section. Okay, anybody, if you have any questions or any comments, you feel free to, yes, Andrew Huberman. You can also find the podcast on YouTube. That's where I listen to his podcast most of the time. Okay, we were talking about tonality. So these are all common business situations. On the left-hand side, you have meetings with current coworkers or vendors that you already know. You are very familiar with them. You don't need a lot from them. They know that. So when you initiate a conversation, you will experience very low resistance. You can talk about anything. You can talk about weather. You can talk about food. You can talk about anything, right? But on the very right-hand side, you see situations like cold calls, where people have zero familiarity with you and you need a lot of commitment from them later on. So naturally, they will have very high initial resistance to what you're going to say. So you do need some different tonality. Let's do a little experiment over here. Okay, say, now imagine that a stranger is coming up to you in a business network event. Describe how you feel after listening to this intonation using adjectives. So you're going to give me some adjectives. For example, if I use intonation number one, you have to tell me, oh, I think it sounds very confident. I like it. Okay, type in the chat box or just simply tell me. Okay, so I'm going to read this sentence. This is Lee. I'm from ABC Company. How are you doing today? How would you describe this particular intonation? It's very high, very fast. Hi, this is Lee. I'm with ABC Company. How are you doing today? Yeah, it's A, but how would you describe it? Can you use some adjective? Someone is in a good mood. That's in a good mood. Yes. Someone, yeah, probably in a good, too positive, way too positive. 正能量, too much. Southern California intonation. Okay. Yeah, in California, there's a lot of people, especially young girls, with the tendency of raising intonation at the end of the sentence. This is called uptalk. How are you? This is Lee. How are you? I'm with ABC Company. How are you doing today? It's all like super cheerful. Good mood, but sometimes nervous. Yes. Okay. So I would say this is very high. The pitch is very high, very fast, but it can be perceived as a very positive intonation, but also a little bit nervous, right? Let me read the sentence in a neutral pitch, in a medium tempo. Hi, this is Lee. I'm with ABC Company. How are you doing today? How do you feel about this particular intonation? How do you feel about B? Yes, it is B. I am doing B, but how do you feel about it? What do you think, Farrell? What do you think if a person comes up to you with this intonation? How would you describe this person?
Maybe how could I
Common
say
professional.
Yeah, professional.
Professional?
Maybe
So,
yeah, professional. Maybe he want to say something we need to learn, or we need to
educational.
Yeah, educational.
Okay, great. Okay. All right, let's hear numbers. Let's hear C. It's a lower pitch and an even slower tempo. This is Lee. I'm with ABC Company. How are you doing today? How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
Actually, I more like prefer this because my
really?
English so poor, so I can understand.
Calm you down a little bit. Oh, because it's slow. That
It's
is
very
a
important
great
to
point
me.
too. It's slower.
Yes, this time when we go to French, the most higher champion or someone, he talking like this very, very slow. So I think, wow, so good.
Oh yeah, I can understand you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. Something's about to happen with the sound. Someone that sounds who sounds unhappy. That's what people are saying in the chat box. Someone who wants to leave. Someone who's tired. Someone who's probably just got into a fight yesterday or something. Okay, but so which intonation will make you want to talk to him or her in a business situation? Someone's not satisfied with the work. Which one? Let's of course you can also say that you prefer someone who would talk real slow, but let's say subjectively, which person do you want to talk to more? Okay. Most people are saying B. Okay. So what, A or B? Okay. So that's very interesting. So next question. If your counterpart uses the pattern C, that is, if you're talking to me and I'm giving you a hi, I'm Lee. which version, which intonation you should use with him, according to our books, do you think? C, I'm seeing a C from Ruby in English. Yeah. A. Okay. A to kind of balance him. Why do you think it's A? Someone is writing A. Why is that?
Trying to cheer him up. Trying to cheer him up because he
Cheer him
looks
up
like
with A. Hey.
yeah.
Hakuna Matata. Right? Okay. According to our book, you actually should use C with him as well. Right? If a person is using this very high pitch with you, and you should use high pitch with him. I don't know if it's something you have similar experiences before, but when you're really, really tired and you naturally go like C, and someone is like so excited, you say, hey, how you doing? What you doing? I want to talk more. Sometimes you get agitated a little bit, right? But of course, you always watch for their demeanor, how they react, because sometimes there are people who really want to be cheered up. I'm not saying it's not possible, okay? But do watch, do pay attention to how they react. But on average, matching, you can write down on your notes, matching their mood is a safer option. Okay, so let's say we're bumping into a different kind of scenario, the cold call, the more the people on the listening end are a little bit more skeptical. So you receive a call. Can we all read this together? Cold call. 1, 2, 3, go. Cold call.
Cold call.
Cold call.
You receive a call to your office.
Call.
Describe how you feel about intonation A, using some adjectives. And then do you want to hang up on A or B? Okay. So A is like this. Hi. Let me call Juno, for example. Hi, is this Juno at McDonald's? My name is Lee. I'm with ABC Company. The reason why I'm calling today is to introduce our latest milk product. So that's version A. Version B. Hey, is this Juno at McDonald's? It's just Lee with ABC Company. I'm just wondering if you can help me out for a moment. Okay. Once again, let me repeat A and B to show you the contrast. A, hi, is this Juno at McDonald's? My name is Lee. I'm with ABC Company. The reason why I'm calling is to introduce our latest milk product. B, hey, is this Juno at McDonald's? It's just Lee with ABC Company. I'm just wondering if you can help me out for a moment. So how does A feel to you? How does B feel to you? And which person do you want to hang up on? Which person do you want to hang up on? A or B? B. You want to hang up on B? All right. What about Juno herself? What do you think? A or B?
Oh.
So Hank wants to hang up on A. Can Hank share a little bit about why you think A you need one?
I like B better because it's like more attractive.
Which one is more attractive? A or B?
B.
A?
B? Do
you think A is more attractive? Okay. All right. So most of people here are saying mostly A, and it's kind of a mixture. Okay, both A and B. Right. And so Mona, why do you choose B? Mona?
Let me feel yeah. It let me feel a little bit annoying.
More what?
I say the number B makes me feel a little bit annoying.
Annoyed? Okay.
Yeah, annoyed. Yeah.
Okay, I see. A little bit annoyed. All right. Let me see what Juno has to say. Juno, you there?
Yeah.
When you're at work, do you get calls from vendors or people who want your business?
I would like be better.
Because?
Yeah, because when I get a office phone, usually I'm busy on other stuff. So if somebody just grab my attention to another things, it has to be more attractive, more interesting. If he not so polite, not so happy, I'm not going to deal with that.
So B captures your attention more. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because
It's
B
more
sounds
positive.
more. Why? B is like kind of choppy, right?
Choppy and I think the attitude is more positive.
Oh, attitude is like he or she is asking for your help, right? Hey, is this Juno?
Yeah.
If you can you help me? So she's like, oh, what kind of trouble are you in? At least it doesn't sound like a typical salesperson, right?
Yeah.
A typical salesperson go like, hey, 远东银行，请问你要车贷？我是员工编号99331，马上 go hang up, right? So this is actually very interesting. This is from a book, and also this YouTube clip called "Secrets to Mastering Cold Calls." So if you're talking to a American person who really understand all the nuances of intonation, then I would say the majority of Americans would choose B. Why? Well, according to the master, the guru, Jeremy Miter himself, because people are so afraid of getting like sales calls from people who they don't know and obviously going to charge them a lot of money, they would be very, very skeptical. So if you really sound too professional, people want to hang up. All right, so the next situation, negotiation. Okay, can we all read the scenario, the first sentence together? Negotiation. 1, 2, 3, go. Negotiation.
You've discussed with the vendor
about their solutions,
About
and
their
you're in
solutions.
the final
You're in
negotiation
the final
stage.
negotiation stage.
Okay, so we also have two versions of intonation. The first one is this mid-high pitch, no pause at all. Okay, so I'm gonna read it right now. Version A. If you give me one shot and believe me, you'll be very, very impressed with our solution. Fair enough? If you give me one shot and believe me, you'll be very, very impressed. Fair enough? Is it okay? Version B. If you give me one shot and believe me, you'll be very, very impressed. Fair enough? If you give me one shot and believe me, you'll be very, very impressed. Fair enough? Okay. Which version do you think is more persuasive? A or B?
B.
And why? Everybody's saying B. Now we have a more of a unanimous decision over here. So Rachel, why do you think so? Why do you think B is more persuasive?
Because B talk slowly and
Slowly. There are pauses.
Yeah, a little slower.
But at the beginning it was pretty high. At the end is also pretty. It was also pretty high.
Yeah, and it's a little bit serious, and since attract you to focus on his talking.
Okay, good. There are actually 3 different intonation patterns in this particular demonstration. Have you ever heard of the movie The Wolf of Wall Street? The Wolf of Wall Street. Have you heard of the movie before or the book? It is his line. It is his line, by the way. It is his line. Liga, you're right. It is his line. Okay. But I mean, if you have heard of the movie, this is the actual.
Because when you read this, it sounds like Leonardo DiCaprio will cheer his
because
martini.
it is probably very likely a line from the movie because this guy called Jordan Belfort, on the you can see his name at the bottom, is the Wolf of Wall Street. So after he got out of jail, he became this sales master, teaching people how he used different tonalities and of course other sales skills to successfully sell bad products to other people. But now he's using it on you know, helping people, so that's a good thing. But you can, if you are interested, you can check out this particular video. This is called, once again, this is called tritonal closing pattern. It's very useful when you're trying to make a deal with other people. Can we all say tritonal closing pattern together? It's on the lower left side. Tritonal closing pattern. Repeat it after me. Let's go. Tritonal closing pattern. Excellent. Try means three. Okay. So when we listen to audio samples that we get from YouTube or wherever, we want to sound as close as possible to their intonation, right? And actually, there is a very good method to learn and imitate intonation, not just intonation, but also the sentence patterns or pronunciation from a video of a native speaker. I'm introducing this method right now. Okay, there are two parts to this method. The first one is called echo. What do we mean by echo? Has anybody here heard of the way to learn English? This particular way of learning English is called 回音法, the echo method. Have you heard of it before? If so, please say yes. If no, please say no. What is that? What does it mean? Okay. Basically, it means that you need to listen to the audio file again and again and again and again until it forms this natural echo that is unstoppable in your mind. What does that mean? What does that mean? There is a particular audio sample that is pretty much like that in everybody's mind right now. So after I say these three words, please immediately let me know what's in your mind, what pops out of your mind. Okay. 福利熊. It's automatic, right? You can't stop that sound from coming out of your mouth, right? Have you spent a lot of time memorizing that particular intonation?
No.
That particular sentence? No, it's not that echo. ECHO, not him. Okay. So when it becomes part of your muscle memory, that echoing 回音 will be in your mind. So whenever the time is, you will be able to reproduce that intonation. So let's play the sentence from Jordan Belfort again. We're gonna hear the man's original voice. Okay. Let me play his sound file. Can you hear me? Can you hear the audio?
No.
One sec.
No.
One sec. Okay. There we go.
Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very,
Can you hear it?
very
Now?
impressed. Sound fair enough?
Okay, so let's try to listen to this sound file for at least 10 times before we start imitating it, okay?
Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough?
Okay, hold on. Let me hit the repeat key. Repeat.
Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed.
So
Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me,
You can use
you're
the
going to be
graph
very,
in front of you
very
to
impressed.
assist,
Sound fair enough?
to
Jim,
assist
you
the
give me
process
one
visually.
shot and
On the
believe
left-hand
me,
side is
you're going to be
the
very,
frequency of the
very
voice.
impressed.
On
Sound
the
fair enough?
y-axis is
Jim,
the
you give
frequency
me
of the
one
voice.
shot and believe me, you're going to be very,
And at the bottom, you
very
can see
impressed.
the words.
Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me,
When you feel
you're
comfortable,
going to be
please
very,
follow
very impressed.
the audio
Sound
files.
fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed.
Can you
Sound
replace
fair enough?
me with
Jim, you
us?
give me one shot and
you're
believe me,
comfortable
you're
with
going to be
replacing
very,
that
very
one word,
impressed.
can you replace it
Sound
with
fair
our
enough?
company? So it's going to be
Jim,
like
you
this.
give me one
If you
shot
give me one
and
shot and
believe
believe
me,
us,
you're going to be very,
very
very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough? Jim, you give me one shot and believe me, you're going to be very, very.
So let's get into the one last group discussion, and with your partner, you're going to practice that particular clip and repeat it. Can we do that? Is it clear?
You give me one shot and believe me, you're gonna be very simple.
All right. One last exercise. We're gonna put everybody in the group. Do you see the link? All right. So try to replace the word, and as a partner, please help your partner check whether the intonation pattern matches.
Jim, you give me one shot and believe me.
Sorry, I can hear you.
Very,
Sorry.
Please help your partner check whether they have this 3-part correctly. Sometimes the middle part will be too high. So give your partner some suggestions about matching his intonation with Jordan Belfort's intonation. Okay, so let's start.
can see PDF on 36 page 36.
36, okay. Okay, I can try first. If you give me one shot and believe me, you're gonna be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough?
Okay. If you give me one shot and believe me, you're gonna be very, very impressed. Sound fair enough?
I think the interruption can be more clear. You can stop more, and then, for example, if you give me one shot and believe me, you need to stop and then go to a next sentence. Like that.
Okay. If you give me one shot and believe me.
Can you say it like one sentence? If you give me one shot, if you give me one shot, if you give me one shot.
If you
pretend that it's just one word instead of 4 words. If you give me one shot.
If you give me one shot.
And believe me, really low.
And believe me.
It's not believe me, it's believe. It's all like very, very low. Believe me.
Believe me.
You're gonna be.
If you give me one shot and believe me.
You're gonna be very, very impressed.
You're gonna be very, very impressed.
Sound fair enough?
Sound fair enough.
Good, excellent. So can you start replacing the words?
If you give me one shot and believe me.
Believe us. Replace me with us. We want to internalize this intonation. Because obviously, after learning this particular sentence, it's very unlikely that we'll say exactly the same thing to other people, right? We have to use our own words, the same intonation, but our own words. So just by changing one word, it will help you start that internalization process. Okay, so let's try.
If you give me one shot and believe us, you're gonna be very, very happy. Sound fair enough?
Excellent.
If you give me one shot and
if you give me one shot
and believe me and believe our company.
Believe our company. Our company also very low.
Our company. You're gonna be very, very satisfied.
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 Yeah.
Sound very enough.
Great. So when you practice like long sentences like this, it would be a good idea to break down the sentences into several little pieces and then practice each piece until you can put them all together. Okay. Because there are not so many intonation patterns in American English. As long as you can really master 1 or 2 or 3, it already covers a lot of situations. So it is worth the time to invest. Okay, let's try replacing a few more words, and then we'll come back to the main chat room. Okay. Have you all tried already? Tried all sentences already?
We need to reverse as other word.
Sorry. Just practice a little bit more. Huh? 你说什么？
我们是要再替换成其他字再练一次。
对，我们再30秒试试看。
好。If you give me one shot and believe me.
Hey guys, you done? Hello.
Hello, we done.
Done? Can
yeah.
you try once for me?
Sure. And my turn. If you give me one shot and believe me, you're gonna very impressive. Sound fair enough.
Okay. So see, sound fair enough should be really high, right?
Yeah. But
sound fair enough.
If you give me one shot, and believe me, you gonna very impressed.
You're gonna be.
You're gonna be. You're
gonna be very impressed.
Very impressive. Sound fair enough.
Sound fair enough.
Sound fair enough.
Okay,
sound
good.
fair enough.
Okay. Yuting, would you like to try it for me?
If you give me one shot and believe me.
How about Yuting?
Oh, okay. Yuting, you turn.
Just try one last time for me. You there?
I'm not pretty sure she is there.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Okay. Good work, guys. Let's return to the main chat room. Okay, guys, how do you feel about this? Okay. In English, there are actually not that many intonation patterns. I would say maximum 4 or 5 intonation patterns. The rest is basically a combination of these 4 and 5 intonation patterns. So once you really grasp one, then it will already help you sound fluent and natural in a lot of situations. Okay. And by substituting the words, you will be able to internalize. That is, you will be able to use the intonation with your own words. Because a lot of times people do practice echo method. But the problem is that after practicing that particular sentence, they just leave it there. So a quick question. How many people, it's not that like a quick question here. How many people here believe that you're going to say exactly the same sentence in your life from now on? Not just not in this class, outside of the classroom, in your day-to-day scenarios. How likely are you going to say exactly the same sentence? If it's very likely, please type 1. Yeah, high. If it's not so likely, please type low. Okay. But, oh, hi. Okay, someone says, Tiffany says that it's you could probably use it very often. Is that so in your line of work? The same words.
I would say I won't use exactly the same word, but that intonation is just keep running in my mind. So if maybe I'll have another similar sentence like if you pick me blah blah blah, so maybe I will have this kind of intonation to talk with other people.
Excellent. That's the key. We want to keep that intonation. We want to keep that persuasiveness. But how do we keep that persuasiveness without using the same words? Of course, you need to substitute the words. And I would say at the beginning, focus on just substituting 1 or 2 words. That is easy, because if you substitute find a word and substitute it with a very, very long word, then it breaks the sentence, right? And another tip is that if the sentence is really long, you need to break it down into even shorter chunks. Like if you give me one shot, maybe just focus on practicing. If you give me one shot, if you give me a lot of chances, if you give me one shot, if you try our product, just focus on this particular segment and get it right. Get it really, really fluent. Okay. That's our recommendation over there. So wrapping up, we have talked about the nonverbal communication aspects, and we also talk about how tonality can influence your the chances of you winning in different business situations. So there's a small ritual that I want to do before ending the class. You've talked to some people in the class today. Can you use 2 sentences to thank them and be specific about how they helped you? Can we all spend 10 seconds thanking other people? Okay, starting with Angie and then Rika.
Sorry, can start from someone else.
Sure. Okay, how about Rika? Or maybe let's not force it on everybody.
Okay.
Anybody want to start first? Is there anybody that you would like to thank? Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for participating in this class and exploring the various aspects of communications with me. It helps me, and it also helps you a little bit, I think. Okay, what about Jiating? Do you want to thank someone for helping you today?
No, I try understanding.
Okay, all right. Okay, so if it's a little bit difficult for everybody, let's jump into the assignment section. Okay, the assignment section. There are 3 topics that you can choose from. Just submit 1 audio file. Okay, you can either talk about how you feel after this first class, which tip helps you more than others. So you can talk about it for 1 minute, or you can introduce yourself in the best possible way that you think and record 1 minute of self-introduction. Or you can echo and substitute the selected audio files in these YouTube clips and submit 1 minute recording. One of them is the one that we just tried. You can do 1 minute of substitution using that particular clip. That is also very welcome. And when you record your voice, you're going to use Otter AI. This is a meeting minute software. It does a very good job of saving the audio file and the transcript at the same time. So while you export your audio file, you will be able to see whether there's pronunciation errors that cause the transcript to appear funky. Sometimes words that you might not intend to say appear because of some pronunciation or grammatical issue. And then you can follow the instructions on the YouTube link and submit it to the Google survey at point number 3. Submit the Otter AI link to the Google survey over there. And I would appreciate it if you can submit that link to the audio file by Friday, March 8th, close to midnight. Okay. And I will do a good job of evaluating not just the content, but also the intonation, also the pronunciation or grammar of your audio file. So you get a pretty comprehensive analysis. And another extra assignment, if you want to do, is that I have provided a TOEFL speaking question in the Google survey. It's a 1 sentence. It's a very simple question. The question goes like this. If you have some extra money, would you like to spend it on a trip? Or would you like to spend it on durable goods like electronic gadgets? So you can also submit on top of the original homework, you can submit that particular sound file. And then I will grade your audio file using the standards of TOEFL speaking. So you will know, like, this is equivalent to, say, the 75 percentile of the students who take the TOEFL test, things like that. And that will be interesting if you're interested in knowing like your English proficiency level according to TOEFL speaking. So you do that extra file for me. Okay. So is it clear in terms of what homework needs to be submitted? If you're really busy, of course, you can always do something else. But if you want another homework, because for whatever reason, just let me know. email me and I'll figure something out for you. Okay. So any questions? I'm gonna use my Pan American smile on you right now. Any questions? Any questions? If there's no question, please type no. If there's question, please type yes. At least let me know your fingers are still well at this point of time.
No questions about the assignment. And but
sure.
sorry for the late reply. That I want to thank for Lee for today's lecture, and also for the partners who are practice with me, because I think everyone needs to practice to make any for the whole lecture. So thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. If there's no question, I'm gonna end the class today. And thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
If you will send us this
recording.
assignment.
Yes. The assignment. The assignment is on the last page of the handout.
Oh, okay.
This is the last page of the PDF that I sent you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you today for participating in this class. Next time we'll be very, very punctual as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Thank
Have a great
you.
evening.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.